walked out early. I guess my mom wasn't worthy, but that's not what hurt me. The worst thing was the worries, bills not paid, filled with hate that got bigger. I have no respect for the general father figure. It's killer knowing God put me on this road. We all carry problems, but I got a 10-ton load, and I know I gotta keep my head up in these times. So when I first wrote a line and then I made it rhyme, it was a shock, and I knew then I was just fine. So I started with a tape recorder just cause I couldn't afford a real mic. So nothing was in order, but I still wasn't over pain every day. I felt it, all of my past, I left it, searching at Christmas just to find my right present. But hell is dragging me slowly, keeping me lonely, Satan keeping me company, but I keep God closely, hoping this pain will become ghostly.
You never understood my being, my balance, my business, my brilliance, but how could you, when I never understood my being, my balance, my business, my brilliance? Is it starting to get through? This poetry isn't enough for me, I'm starting to write it uncomfortably, now utilizing manifestations blatantly for all to see, for you and me. The odyssey of we, for all to see, for you and me. The odyssey of we.
It's so hard to keep them on pyramids. Our goals for the music business, like walking the tightrope of a high slope, trying not to slip in it. This odyssey of we, more like an odyssey in me. You and your friends and me and mine, so it's obvious to see. We like follow me to the sorrow scene, bottomless and hollow, trying to get through the day without looking forward to tomorrow. Wallowing on the past as a vision of the future. You don't wanna be stuck in this carousel, well, do ya? Trying to walk a straight line, but the world's got your vision blurring. You're in slow motion, but your surroundings seem to be in a hurry. Burning passion drives your soul, but your chances are slim. Sling a little green, sell a few CDs with intention to win. I'm just a misfit, twisted within this wicked realm of riches, but in it is sickness, demons, and weakness in the spirit. So now I'm bound towards the truth, fighting the doubts from you, cause you never understood my brilliance, but how could you?
You never understood my being, my balance, my business, my brilliance, but how could you, when I never understood my being, my balance, my business, my brilliance? Is it starting to get through? This poetry isn't enough for me, I'm starting to write it uncomfortably, now utilizing manifestations blatantly for all to see, for you and me. The odyssey of we, for all to see, for you and me. The odyssey of we. Down and out but never bowing out, my future is unlimited, and even if it came to a sudden end, well that'll be it. Please don't warn me, I'm glad to be gone. And even though I seem strong on the inside, I wasn't. There were constant battles rattling my cage. The first time I stepped on stage, second guessing and stressing, but it was remarked as impressive, even though the studio that I was at the time only talked down and degraded my concepts, told to sound like immortal so I could sell more units, become ruthless, add swagger and new age sounds. Left, damn near gave up, yet somehow it worked out. Crossed paths with a local that actually appreciated lyricism, so we worked on some tracks and dug each other's rhythm, the outline, conflict theory, 3PO, and whatever's next. But before I forget, eventually, the Nobody's mixtape, the records from one mic above, all I give thanks. You never understood my being, my balance, my business, my brilliance, but how could you, when I never understood my being, my balance, my business, my brilliance? Is it starting to get through? This poetry isn't enough for me, I'm starting to write it uncomfortably, now utilizing manifestations blatantly for all to see, for you and me. The odyssey of we, for all to see, for you and me. The odyssey of we.
To those out there living a life like mine, it's hard to look at your family and set everything up is just fine, but you know it's not fine because you're late on the rent, and all the money you had is either gone or spent. With both parents split, it's hard to find common ground. With all the bickering, fighting, you just don't wanna hear the sound. But you gotta be strong and only live life right, because in this cool world you know it's a struggle and fight. Going and going, just trying to pass each day, reminiscing on the time as a kid. There was only one way to live your life, as a curious little boy knowing nothing in life but to only do right. But those times are gone by and now there's no looking back. Then reality hits hard to get you back on track, but at the end of each day we all accept who we become. So between you and me, this is why I'm numb.
You never understood my being, my balance, my business, my brilliance, but how could you, when I never understood my being, my balance, my business, my brilliance? Is it starting to get through? This poetry isn't enough for me, I'm starting to write it uncomfortably, now utilizing manifestations blatantly for all to see, for you and me. The odyssey of we, for all to see, for you and me. The odyssey of we.
What am I? Who is I? Though I try to read my book, the chapters still remain took, the paper still remain ripped and torn. Born for pain,
bore and slain, so my soul remain mundane. Deaf heaven hears my pain, deaf heaven hear my cries. Try for me, no, for the redemption of dark humanity. Why think when every time I blink my life passes, flashes by? Why see when past flashes? What gashes? People would perceive my pain, but the world would never receive my reign. Only surely receive my wrath from all the fatal laughs, from every eager epitaph. Lofty grasp deceitful dice. Now take this life, grasp the earth with a deeper meaning, not humanity. This founding father's fathom deserves this dire strife. But I convinced through my conviction, brimstone by no tradition. Still see what eyes blinded by tradition can't see. No,
you never understood my being, my balance, my business, my brilliance. But how could you, when I never understood my being, my balance, my business, my brilliance? Is it starting to get through? This poetry isn't enough for me, I'm starting to write it uncomfortably. Now utilizing manifestations blatantly for all to see, for you and me. The odyssey of we, for all to see, for you and me. The odyssey of we.
Yo, accept the fact I was never inspired by the checks and cash. Spent many days and nights just trying to perfect my craft and slept in class. The session's grass had me twisted as dyslexic crap, but the truth and facts is really what set this path. You see, I am just what the system hates. My fam ain't from the 50 states. Genocide survived in Mexico City in 68. Then a light flash and that time lapse. My mind grasps a different view to the retina eye. Recognize how separate lives are conditioned too. And if that's the truth, I guess it affects on my decisions too. Affects decisions, guess it affects my compositions too. And if that's the truth, my attributes must have to do with the graph I do as an active youth and rap on my discus too. Damn, I never understood myself till I saw that inside me. I strive for higher, maybe that's why no chick can satisfy me. The truth's in the music. If you would think that I am disguising, you never understand my brilliance if you analyze.
You never understood my being, my balance, my business, my brilliance. But how could you, when I never understood my being, my balance, my business, my brilliance? Is it starting to get through? This poetry isn't enough for me, I'm starting to write it uncomfortably. Now utilizing manifestations blatantly for all to see, for you and me. The odyssey of we, for all to see, for you and me. The odyssey of we.
It is the principle which makes it possible for you to convert into an asset every adversity, every disappointment, every defeat, and every failure you meet with from now on the remainder of your life.